Realism?
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the Shadow and Sun Show. Today, we are going to be crafting.
That's right, folks. As you saw from the title of the video, we're going to be turning this derpy-looking action figure into a angel, or for you Dungeons & Dragons players, a Planetar or Solar. Prefer the title Angel. It seems to have a little bit more oomph and you know,
Recognition.
yeah, and toughness. Overall, you can even call it an Archangel if you want. So let's get started.
Well, that might be
Right off the bat, the little guy had the great idea of turning this head around backwards because we're going to give him a hood.
I actually just wanted to cut his head off.
Yeah, but we're going to use the blank side of the face because this face isn't very angelic. But like I said, I'm going to put a hood over it so you'll just see a blank face. But he's going to start by using some of our favorite modeling material, just good old-fashioned paper clay, to seal up the cracks and crevices on the joints and little holes here in the arm. And while he does that, I'm going to show you some of the other steps that I took. You had it backwards?
No, it's just, I move this back down.
Oh, okay.
I start with the...
For the base, I took some of that paper clay and just a bunch of odds and ends. You get it wet first. And you only need a very little bit. That's probably more than enough for half of the work you're going to do. Just
maybe not.
But like I said, I took a Pringles lid, filled it with paper clay, and then I just attached some odds and ends, barbecue skewer left over from the lighthouse, and some Hearst Arts molds pieces, and some rocks. And I even took a tube from one of my old paintbrushes and glued it on there. Afterwards, we'll black bomb everything and dry brush it in grays and whites to make it look like he's standing in a pile of rubble. It's very effective for making bases this way, especially for larger creatures. And as you can see, there's already his footprints to let us know exactly where he's going to be standing. And it took about 12 hours for the paper clay to dry. And I did put super glue at the bottom of the base before I put the paper clay in, so that hopefully it won't fall out. I've had that happen when I use white glue, because it just takes forever for the white glue to dry. Then I took one of the stir sticks that we had left over from the mausoleum, and I crafted this two-handed sword just using bits of the stir stick, as you can see for the cross hilt. Yeah, that's looking really good. Yeah.
Should I also cover these holes?
Yeah, any hole, and not the two back holes, because we might need those for...
Wait, these two back holes or these two back holes?
Those two back holes. Oh, but definitely on the back of the screws, on the back of the arms.
This one?
Yeah.
And these, okay, that's...
But not these two big ones, because we might use that to attach the wings.
Also, I used everything on that.
Okay, then grab
So
some.
you're wrong.
Okay. And then I took some odds and ends from beads and jewelry making supplies to make the handle. And it's not perfectly even here, but at a distance it looks okay. But I'm going to take some jewelry wire and wrap it around to sort of disguise the unevenness of the handle. But various little beads. This will be the gem pommel at the end. And we'll paint this separately. But I think it turned out pretty good. A lot of filing to get it all into shape. But I think once it's painted up and in his hands, it'll be pretty convincing for a nice holy sword, holy avenger, whatever you want to call it. Well, be pretty cool for an action figure if we were, if he was still playing with action figures, although it is pretty pointy. And that could definitely take out an eye. But it'll be roughly right here on the base when it all is said and done. So
that's an interesting comment.
But I don't think there'll be any danger of it hurting anybody once it's glued into his hand and he's standing with it like that.
I'm actually not sure if that was intentional.
I think it turned out pretty good.
I'm not talking about that.
I know, but just moving on.
You know exactly what I'm referring to.
Yes, I do. And as you saw in the announcement videos, we're going to attach these wings we got from the dollar store. Little guy
You got
wants-
those from the dollar store? Are you sure?
Yes, I'm positive.
Okay, then get them again because I need them. For
Yeah,
something.
I was just going to say he doesn't want me to use them, but I think they're just crying out to be put on the back of an angel.
Well, yeah, but
He wants to use them for something else, but I don't know if you can see.
Well,
But
maybe I've done a better, but I think it would have been a better use for them.
they have this really cool sort of color shifting effect. I don't know if you can actually see it in the light, but it's made with a clear plastic, but it does have sort of purples and golds and yellows in it.
Wouldn't necessarily say
And
golds, but
it depends on the angle, but I really don't like this fur, so I'm probably gonna do something to keep it from doing this, because that just looks awful. But maybe we could use it to our,
your advantage.
yeah, maybe if we spread it out to make it look like he's, all lit up with holy energy or something. That actually doesn't look terrible. I don't know. We'll see. But that's like almost the very last step, is to put these wings on the back of the angel.
Okay, this is what you wanted?
Let me take a look. Yeah. Did you do it all everywhere, or you still have the other arm?
Yeah, there's still the other arm, but
Yeah, we'll go ahead and finish that up.
but this is what you want me to do.
Yeah, exactly.
Did I put any here?
No, because the toga is going to cover that.
Okay, but the rest of the arm, right?
No. Yeah, you're right there. And then to give him sort of a, like I just said, a toga or robe or whatever you want to call it, I took some dried out baby wipes, and this one's actually been pressed in this little paper clip kind of thing. After I folded them to give him a sort of a fan fold. I'm going to put this over his shoulder. And this time we're not going to dunk them in the white glue and water mixture. I'm going to use the paintbrush so that I can keep these folds, because if I tried to get it wet and then manipulate it, it would turn out terrible and not work right. But I've got a nice, really, it's actually a really crappy paintbrush, but it's really fluffy, so it'll hold a lot of the glue and water. I'm not sure what these paintbrushes are for, other than maybe, really young kids doing, a step up from finger painting. But they're very spongy, and as you can see, they hold a lot of the glue and water mixture, because that's what I want, so that it just drenches them, but I'm in more control once the pieces are in place. Almost my turn? Just about.
You just said. Wait, let me just get this thing from here. This off. What do I put all this?
In the bucket of water, in the bowl, and sort of rinse your hands off, and there's a towel for you. Let me take a look.
Wait. Okay, I think that's wait. No.
Let me take a look. Yeah, I think that'll work just fine. And it's already starting to dry a little, but this paper clay will take quite a while to complete. What?
Yeah.
It'll take quite a while to dry. So let's put the first part on over his shoulder. Oh, he was going to glue something, but I think
I don't remember what I was going to do.
the shoulder strap, but we can do that after I do this, I suppose.
Oh, yeah, that was what I was supposed to do.
And then I'm going to take this, and I already have a twist tie. I just want to make sure I can sort of... Oh, you know what? Yeah, I'm still going to do I'm still going to do the multiple layers of this. But as you see, I'll just give them sort of like a belt.
That's not really a belt.
Yeah, no, I know. Just something to keep this in place while I do the other part. And twist it on real good and tight. You won't see this from the back. The wings will hide the twist tie. I use twist ties like this for belts. I did it on the King in Yellow last month, and I think I used it on Sam Hain.
By definition, you are correct. It was last month.
Yes, just a couple of days ago. And then Oh, you know what? I should have done that sooner. Or, you know what? Let me redo that. I don't know why I didn't think of that. Hope you guys are enjoying the holiday music in the background. Hoping it's not copy protected or anything like that.
That's not
The way it works.
that wasn't what I was gonna say.
Okay.
That's just not how you say that.
Okay.
I wanted to not hear that again.
You hear that, folks?
I don't think they do.
Okay.
I both. Never mind.
And this is a little...
So you were gonna try to make it below or lick below.
No, I didn't want. I wanted his legs to show.
Oh well, I kind of don't.
So it should be longer, you think?
No, I just think there should be a separate thing that surrounds his legs entirely.
Oh, okay. Well, we'll work on that later if we have the opportunity. I just want to get this.
And I guess we could make another one, but
Yeah, we
I
could.
don't think that his legs should be showing.
Well, then he's like, it's harder for him to, kick butt, take names. Okay.
I don't even know what to say about that.
And now I'm just going to get everything really, really wet. Can I take this?
Yes.
Done using that. And this will thin it out. The fabric won't seem as thick, and it will really adhere to his body. And gravity will eventually do a lot of the work for me and pull it all down into a flatter. And it's better to use too much of this glue and water mixture than not enough. It'll, if you put it in the right location, like on this washcloth, it'll just drip into there, and it's all water soluble, so it won't ruin the washcloth. And
Looking good?
definitely more control. Sometimes, dunking the baby wipes into the glue is the way to go. But I know I should let you. You know what? Why don't you do this?
Oh,
Just goop them up.
okay. I don't necessarily.
Anywhere the cloth is dry, make it wet.
Oh well. How about this?
Yeah. And make sure you get in between the folds. It'll all act like a sponge and get itself.
It's hard to tell. Well, it probably isn't hard to tell, but it wasn't. It's just.
Right in there.
It's meant to all go together.
Well, I'll adjust it as it's drying. I can fan it out, make it look like it's, more three-dimensional fabric. Fabric isn't just perfectly flat on people when they wear it.
Yeah.
And wait, there.
There.
Yeah. Just get it good and wet, and then we'll just leave them standing up to dry. And I'll do the hood later.
Yeah.
You made a big old dent.
Oh, I didn't really want to do that.
Yeah, I know. I think that's about it.
There's still some spots.
Okay.
There.
Is that better than working with it the other way for you?
in every single way.
Yeah, he was having trouble with it because when you're dipping it in the glue and water mixture, the fabric becomes really weak and it can rip and tear as you're trying to place it on whatever you're putting it on. I didn't have any of those problems.
None, I just show it to the...
Go ahead. Wash your hands off if necessary. Actually, let's use this to have him put that back down. Stand him up like this and push this down and it'll all drip dry overnight and we'll be looking good. Let's give him a sword so you guys get a better idea of how he's going to look. When he's done, I'll get you a little kind of a preview of how he's going to look with the wings. I think that's going to look pretty cool.
I'd say so.
So there you have it, folks. That was a quick craft from us to get the ball rolling for December. I hope you guys try one of these out. I think Nathan just picked up one of these. On
that
his,
exact...
maybe it might have been the red one, but he did
the exact same model. Anyway,
yes,
so.
but he did this
really
big road trip recently. Our friend Nathan Allen, and he picked up a bunch of action figures and stuff, and I think he picked up one of these. It might have been somebody else I saw on Facebook, but I'll go back and say hi and let him know about this video. But there you have it for tonight. I hope you guys enjoyed this quick craft. We will be back Sunday with... Remember what we're doing Sunday?
Yes.
Why don't you tell them, just in case they forgot or didn't see Tuesday.
We're doing the Dragon of the Month
Yeah,
next month, and we're painting it. I'm painting it. I don't remember... Oh, well, technically we're both painting it.
That's right. Because it's...
Anyways,
Which dragon?
First off, if anyone doesn't know, you might as well let it be a surprise.
Okay.
And that's about it. No, it's not. Okay. I know I did not forget.
Okay.
That is... Never mind.
That's it for tonight, folks. Have a great weekend. We will see you real soon. Make sure you hit that like button on your way out, and have a great weekend. He doesn't like his sword. He wanted an axe.
Yeah, and also he's holding it by the blade,
yeah.
which isn't... I mean, technically, anyways. Anyways, remember to purge thy blasphemers.
Good night, folks.